So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. All praise is due to Allah the Mighty, the most beneficent, the most merciful. First, I would like to express my deepest appreciation and gratitude to the organizing committee of this conference, to International Group for Studying Hijama, especially for Professor Muhammad Yusuf, who opened the opportunity for us in Indonesia to join the group, and to Association for Integrative Medicine in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So this is a really meaningful event, and I am truly honored to be invited as one of the speakers in the second European conference to meet hijama scholars from around the world and share valuable experiences. My name is Rizka Siregar. I learned hijama about 10 years ago and practice it for the last 6 years. I'm also a hijama trainer and actively teach hijama for the last 5 years. But I teach hijama not in the university, but to the traditional practitioners. So on behalf of the Indonesian Medical Society for Cupping, I will now present to you some of our experiences developing hijama in Indonesia. First of all, I would like to introduce my teachers because without them, I will not be who I am now. So they are some key figures of hijama in Indonesia. Ustadz Katur Suhardi is an Islamic scholar who actively promotes hijama as a sunnah from our Prophet Muhammad SAW. And then my teacher, Dr. Agus Rahmadi, he is the founder of Klinik Sehat Group, a clinic that provides hijama for the patients. And then we also have Dr. Zaidul Akbar, is a very popular figure of hijama in Indonesia and currently serves as the chairman of Indonesia Cupping Association. There are more figures that I can't mention here one by one, whose efforts towards development of hijama in Indonesia are remarkable. Let me start a bit with a brief information about my country. So this is the country profile of Indonesia. Indonesia is the largest archipelago nation in the world, with its sea territory larger than the land, about twofold larger than the land. And the population reached 270 million in 2021, and there are more than 300 ethnic groups with its diverse ethnic languages. So we have more than 300 languages, and I don't know all languages actually. The national language is Bahasa Indonesia, and our language for hijama is Bekam. And words for hijama are found in several ethnic languages such as Kop, Bekam, Cantu, Tangki, Basangrah, and others. And this is actually a very solid proof that hijama is acknowledged as traditional wisdom across Indonesia, and it's already passed from generations to generations. In the early century, Indonesia is influenced by Indian culture, which brought Hinduism and Buddhism. But nowadays, almost 90% of Indonesia population are Muslims. So Islam is actually entering Indonesia, adopted since the 13th century, when merchants from Arab and Gujarat entering the archipelago. It was proposed that hijama also introduced by this pattern because the method that is widely known in Indonesia is the CPC method, cupping puncture method, cupping puncture cupping again method, which is widely practiced in Middle East and South Asia. So up to the 20th century, hijama is mainly practiced by traveling traditional healers who offer their care from village to village. And the modern period of hijama started in 2000 when modern equipments were introduced. But however, hijama practice in this period is still dominated by traditional practitioners. So in 2000s, in the year 2000s, decade, more health professionals learned about hijama, and scholars, especially Muslims, start to studying hijama and publish academic writings as presented here. So these are some scientific publications I collected from my colleagues in IMSG. These are some journal articles written by health professionals from universities in Indonesia for the last 5 years. The focus of these journals are varied from hijama mechanism, effect of hijama, and the quality of care. However, we have to admit that most of these hijama studies are carried out in animal, in healthy population, and sometimes in patients with mild symptoms in clinic or community centers. It is still difficult for us to find a hospital that will work together in a hijama study because hijama is not well accepted yet. So this is number 3, is my publication. So my publication is about standardization of hijama, and it is accepted in a Journal of Integrative Medicine in 2021. So we are now working in national scale to prepare standard to ensure the safety and quality of hijama. And in this paper, in this publication, we introduced the 4P standard. 4P stands for practitioner, patient, practice, and paper. And standardization of practitioners are done by preparing highest quality of hijama curriculum. And then the standardization of patients by defining comprehensive safety measurements such as the possible complications, the side effects, the precautions before doing cupping or hijama, and then the standardization of the practice by designing standard operational procedures, and then the standardization of paper by formulating standard reporting system. So the ongoing research now is cupping curriculum in medical universities and nursing departments. And we are trying to work on the other 4P as soon as possible. So hijama also gets more attention in public. And I presented here some books that provide information about hijama to general population. So actually most of these books are written by medical doctors. These books provide complete information about hijama, but they are not supposed to be used for independent study, which is done by some people. They just read the book and then they practice hijama, and they sometimes make mistake, and then hijama will be put on the blame again. That is a very often occasion in Indonesia. So this book, this one for the title is Bekam Sinergi. This one from Dr. Ali Ridho, who explores the synergy between hijama and traditional Chinese medicine. So he is an acupuncturist, herbalist, and he hosted a training package with the concept of synergy. And then we also have this book from Dr. Agus Rahmadi. This is a handbook for hijama practitioner affiliated in Indonesian Hijama or Indonesian Cupping Association. And then, so Dr. Agus Rahmadi here, Dr. Agus Rahmadi here, he is the first one to present hijama in biomedical approach, and also he explained hadith regarding hijama in this book. And this one is the latest one, just published for the last few months. And this is an academic publication about hijama for nursing professionals, written by my colleague, Nurse Aris Setiawan. And Alhamdulillah, very recently, our organization also invited in a national broadcast television to present about hijama. This is a very big step for us because when we are invited to this media, more people watch this show, watch the program, and then after that, many people ask about hijama, especially medical doctors. So the response for this program is very high, and then we are invited again for another media appearance. All praise to Allah, more medical doctors are now interested in hijama. Next here, I will present it in some of universities in Indonesia that offer hijama in their curriculum. So first, this is Airlangga University in Surabaya. They are not actually offering hijama in their curriculum, but they are very welcome to scholars who want to research about hijama in their doctoral degree or in their master degree. So we are very delighted to be acquainted with 3 postgraduate scientists who study hijama for their doctoral dissertation. So 2 of them work on hijama in pain, and the other one works on hijama and cholesterol. And then here we have Muhammadiyah universities. So Muhammadiyah is actually an Islamic organization, and they also have 100 and more universities and institutes. And among the universities, there are 9 medical schools, and 2 of them, the North Sumatra Muhammadiyah University in Medan and Hamka University in Jakarta, are very committed in the development of hijama in Indonesia. So the North Sumatra Muhammadiyah University is the first and the only one medical school that offers a full hijama course in undergraduate program. It was an elective module taught in the last year of preclinical stage. The other medical school offer hijama as part of broader course such as traditional or integrative medicine, such as in the Sriwijaya University, in Yogyakarta Muhammadiyah University, and other universities. And there are several hijama associations in Indonesia, but I will only present it here 3 organizations which are closely related each other. So first, this is Indonesian Cupping Association. This is the very first association that holds the cupping practitioner or hijama practitioner in one roof. So this Indonesian Cupping Association is founded in 2008. And this organization marked the new modern stage of hijama development in Indonesia with its effort to establish hijama standard for its member. So all of Indonesian Cupping Association have the same standards, have the same practice, and they are tested before they can actually practice cupping. The member reached 10,000, ranging from traditional practitioners to health professionals. And later, this organization was accepted as a partner organization in the Ministry of Health. However, in 2014, a new regulation is issued that only those with minimum 3 years of formal education in health-related fields are allowed to perform hijama. So this regulation caused an immense commotion, as most of the members were unable to meet this requirement. Actually, the government provides several years until 2021 when this regulation actually took place. And then the second one here, Indonesia Holistic Nurse Association. So this association established in 2016, and cupping is one of the modality along with other modalities such as herbal therapy and acupuncture.
Dr. Reza?
Yeah.
Please, there is some kind of echo on your mic.
Yeah.
Are you using?
Yeah, is it okay now?
Yes, it's okay. Thank you. Thank you a lot.
Yeah. So I will continue from the Indonesia Holistic Nurse Association. And hijama or cupping is one of the modality along with other modalities such as herbal therapy and acupoints. And the last one and the most recent of all hijama organization, as well as my affiliation, the Indonesian Medical Society for Cupping. So actually, IMSC is not a very recent organization. We are legalized in 2023, just this year, just very recently this year. But actually, the members of IMSC had been in close collaboration for several years. IMSC is an exclusive organization for medical doctors, not only those of hijama practitioners, but also lecturers, researchers, and government officers. We intend to accelerate the integration of hijama into the national health systems, and in order to achieve that, we try to build close networks with several institutions, clinic, hospital, and university. Our ultimate goal is to launch a 3-4 years hijama diploma in affiliated universities and integrate hijama in hijama curriculum in even more medical schools, so that more students will understand and will learn hijama. Recently, we also worked together with Indonesian Professional Certification Authority to design a national standard of hijama practice. I think it's my last slide. Yeah, this is hijama facility in Indonesia. Some of the clinics and hospitals that provide hijama. This one here is in Medan, North Sumatra. The name is Mitra Medical Hospital. It's a very brand new Sharia hospital launched a few months ago. And then this one, clinic Dr. Abdurrahman, also in Medan, opened since 2007. Yeah, 2007. And this one in Tangerang is a clinic Sehat by Dr. Agus Ramadi. And then this one is Dr. Bekam Clinic, and this has many branches all over Aceh province. And then this one in Semarang, this one owned by Dr. Ali Ridho. And we don't have exact numbers, but we estimate that we have around 12 to 15 clinic and private medical practice that offer hijama for the patients. So I think, thank you, and this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for your attention, and we in Indonesia really hope to have further communication and maybe collaboration with participants of this conference to strengthen hijama network around the world. Thank you very much.
We also thank Dr. Rizka from Indonesia for her very excellent and nice presentation.